Our archaeology gallery is filled with stories, and perhaps none more fascinating than this one. It's the story of a gold brooch. And we're very grateful for the loan from our friends at Manchester Art Gallery. It was discovered in 1971 when the Electricity Board were doing some work in the centre of Manchester. The soil that they dug up, in that spoil heap, this gold brooch was found. It dates back to the 12th or 13th century, making it about 700 years old. And at that time, Victoria Street, where it was found in the centre of Manchester, was a thriving marketplace. So this begins to help us piece back together a story of how people lived in medieval times. It's a beautiful brooch, set with these sapphires and garnets. In between the semi-precious gems, we've got really fine detail, and the fine detail is actually seed pods. And these seed pods, we think, are broom. And that's when it gets really interesting. These are the emblem of the Plantagenet dynasty in France. So that gives us some kind of idea of when this might have been made, but also some idea of location about where it might have been crafted. When we think of archaeology, we often think about treasure, objects decontextualized from the context in which they were found. But archaeology is actually more than treasure. Archaeology is about people's stories, about people's interactions with objects, with people, with places. And personal adornments, like this brooch, that tells us about how people lived. It tells us about their identity. So while it might have lost all context of its original assemblage, actually it has a huge storytelling value and gives us that little glimpse into past people and past times.